everyone and welcome. Today I am at Jennifer from the Daily Connoisseur's house, and I traveled to go visit some friends, and on our way back home I had asked her if it was okay to come by and meet her, so I got to meet Jennifer here.
I was so excited when Nikki told me she was coming, and my whole family has been so excited. My husband's not here and he missed them, but all of my kids, it's just been great. And it's been so nice just meeting Jorge and the kids and Nikki. When I saw Nikki, I'm like, wow, you're so beautiful in person.
Thank you.
I mean, just
so
I just, you know, she looks exactly like she does on camera in person. Most people look better on camera or something, you know what I mean?
Lighting.
And then like they're disappointing in person. No, I'm kidding. That's how I feel like people would feel if they met me.
I don't think so. I think you're very beautiful in person.
Thank you.
Okay.
I got my son here too, if you're wondering if this is a baby doll or a real.
He's so sweet. We did a video for her on her channel, so after you watch this, please go and visit her channel where we are continuing the conversation and talking about hosting. And what I wanted to talk on my channel about was being a good guest and how you can ensure to, you know, not, I don't know, wear out your welcome, I would say, right? So we just stayed at our friend's house, and you know, there are certain things, especially we were traveling with our kids, and so that's something that I was really stressed about, actually.
Oh yeah, that's stressful.
Yeah, and that, you know,
especially staying in someone else's home with your children, that is stressful.
Yeah, so you're constantly, you know, on guard with them, it feels, and making sure they're not getting into what they shouldn't be.
And you do the quiet scolding.
Yes. Talking through your teeth.
Hissing. Don't stop that now.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm glad that's not just me.
There's been a lot of that. I am exhausted right now. I can't wait to get home and just let it rip. Every time before we go, now you need to be on your best behavior.
Yeah. Your kids are so well behaved though. I mean, they're in my house right now. I don't even hear them. Where are they? We have 8 children in this house and they're running around, so.
Well, it seems that when they're around other children though, they're always like more observant.
Yes, they're less, my children are less wild when they're around other children because they're embarrassed to be like that, you know? It's so funny. Yeah, whenever they do stuff at home, this is turning into a talk about children. Yeah. Whenever they do stuff at home, I say, would you do that at school? You know, because we do go to school once a week. And they're like, no. I'm like, why are you doing it here? Yeah. Aren't you embarrassed to do it? Anyway, off subject, sorry.
Right. Well, where we were staying, there were no other children. So they did get a little bit more rambunctious, actually. But anyway, so what kind of things would you feel you would do to make sure that you're a good guest in someone else's home?
Are you talking about overnight guests or just coming for dinner overnight?
Probably overnight. And I wanted to discuss this just because I know that a lot of people may be traveling around this time, and I don't know, I just think that it's not often talked about how you could be a good guest in someone else's home. I mean, we talk about hosting people and, you know, how to set up the perfect guest room and stuff like that, but what do we want to make sure that we're doing to be good guests?
So I would say that, you know, to be a good guest, you just have to be respectful of the other person's home, you know, and just, you know, keep your things in your room, for example. That's a big one. So don't have your stuff strewn all around the living room. And especially if you have children, try to keep their mess to a minimum, and that is what is stressful, and usually people understand. I mean, a lot of people over Christmas, they'll spend time with families, and people will be on sleeping bags on the sofa, on blow up beds, and so the house does get messy, and that's what's fun. I remember being a kid and just loving that, you know. But just respectful of their common areas, I would say.
And that's something that we were actually trying to talk to our kids about was, you know, make your bed each day, and, you know, there aren't any maids around here. And so, but just stuff like that, you know, to make your bed if you can, not having your stuff out everywhere. I mean, you want to be, I know that those that are hosting us want us to feel comfortable and like we're at home.
Mi casa es su casa.
Right. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that it's a free-for-all, and you know, you don't want them wishing that you would leave.
Right. Like the kids can't jump on the sofas.
Right. Yeah. So so that's something that, yeah, we were really going through all of that. And we actually don't travel often, so our kids being exposed to this all the time isn't something that, you know, happens often. But
yeah, I would also say just offer to help as much as you can, whether or not they accept it. At least say, how can I help? And then just take the initiative to maybe help. If you're there for many days, clean up after dinner, or just do something helpful to help the other person. Help, maybe offer to cook one meal. That's one. Although everybody is different. Some people don't like people cooking in their kitchen, or they want to do everything. Just you know your guests. If you know them really well in their family, it's easy to just come up with this scenario solution.
Right.
If you don't know your guests that well, just always offer to and be helpful, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
So I agree, and that's what I wanted to make sure to do this time. But because not everybody wants you to put in that effort, they take so much joy in hosting and just letting you sit back, that it's important to be flexible and not to take anything personally.
Yeah, and don't push your help. So that's always awkward too. If you don't want to say, no, I'll unload the dishwasher, and then you don't know where anything goes. Don't take it too far.
Right,
But
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, I have friends where we go over to their house, and like I have a friend that she's always like, start cutting up the lettuce and, help her in the kitchen and stuff. But where we just stayed, they wanted to do everything. And it gave me a different perspective of that. And it kind of taught me a lot about hosting as well. And just that there are different kinds of relationships where you would and where you wouldn't, and that it's okay for both.
Yeah. Give your hosts a break every now and then, if you're staying for a few days, and just go sightsee on your own, so they don't feel like they have to entertain you the whole time.
Yes, that's a really great one. And we did that, and yeah, I think that's important too, especially if you're traveling with kids, where they need quiet. By nature, they're, louder, and it's not like you could just go into your own room and be quiet.
Yeah.
So that's important too.
I think we have to take a quick break to feed him.
Okay. Quick break.
Be right back.
After these messages. The next thing that I would say would make for a good guest would be if you made sure to leave a space better than you found it.
Yes.
I mean,
that's a good rule for life too, in general. Like I always try to teach my children that, but that's so good. Yeah, just not like tidy up their house, because that would be awkward.
No, but so the guest bedroom where you're staying, making sure that you just make the bed again. You know that they're going to take that stuff off unless they request that you bundle everything up, but you don't know when they're going to do that. So I just like to make the bed again, and then gather all the towels that everybody used and put them in one spot, and just make it as nice as possible.
See, this is such a debate thing, because I know a lot of people, and actually this would be a good thing to ask your viewers. So do you make the bed again, or do you strip the bed of linen so that they don't have to? Because see, that's what I do. And then I'm like, is that overstepping my bounds? Oh. You know what I mean? But people do that when they come to stay with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, here come the kids. But I like what you say about that, because you don't know, because then they might feel like they have to.
Right.
Sweetheart. They might feel like they have to.
Right then.
Wash them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I see where you're coming from. So I'm not saying my way's right. You know what I mean?
And that's why I say, some people would request that you strip the bed and just leave everything in a pile or something for them. But just because I don't know, and I know how I feel, we all know how we feel when a bed is not made.
Yes. Oh, you have to do something to it. You just can't leave it messy.
Right.
That's for sure.
That's why I just say just make it again, and then they can do that on their time.
Right.
And still feel like the place looks put together.
You could do a poll.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Right.
Do you
What do
strip
you
the
do?
bed or do you make it again? That's a good question.
Neither is wrong.
Neither is wrong. And that's absolutely, I've done both.
Yeah.
It just depends on where I am. And some people I know, like if I'm visiting my aunt and uncle, I know it's better if I just strip the bed. But if I'm visiting somebody I don't know well, you just make it. And just don't leave it messy.
Right. Yes. So just leaving a space better than you found it. That's something that my parents taught me all the time anyway. Even if you walk into a bathroom and it's messy, just kind of tidying it up for them is so appreciated.
Yes.
Right. I mean, not like cleaning.
Well, you know what?
Space,
Nikki came to my house today and I did tidy up the guest bathroom. And I went in there after her and there was no hand towel in there.
I air dried.
I'm like, what on earth? That's not my fault. One of the kids took the towel and I don't know where they put it.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed. So anyway.
No, nothing to be embarrassed
about. It's a veil on my fault. She comes to my house and has nothing to dry her hands with.
That's okay. No, so yeah,
I think we hit all the basic points. Just
be considerate.
Be considerate. And just think about them, their perspective.
Right.
And they might have things to do, so just don't be too needy.
Right. All right, so thank you so much for being on my channel in your home.
I know. Thank you for visiting
letting
me.
us use your home as our studio today. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to leave a link to her video in the description box below, and I'm also going to try to put it on the end screen so that it makes it easy for you to watch that video. So until next time, I hope that you all take care and